all of us are at the University of the Witwatersrand at the moment. So we're all the same institution. And most of us are in the same division. I'm in the division of languages, literacies, and literatures. But the course that I reflected on in this article was actually from another university. So I only joined Wits about 3 years ago. So when we wrote this, I was still reflecting on something else, just to contextualize that for this paper. And I'm Ilse Fouche, and I'm a senior lecturer in that division.
I'm Maria Prozesky, and I'm also a senior lecturer, also at the School of Education in the LLL division. And I was teaching our large introductory course, literacies for SP-FET teachers. And so that is the course that I worked on with Grant and with Laura before Ilse took it over from us. And so that's the course that I'm reflecting on in this article.
Yeah, my name is Grant Andrews. I'm also a senior lecturer in the Division of Languages with Ilse and Maria. And I also worked alongside Maria on this course for under first year literacies, where for FET teachers, they were learning about literacies, and we reflected on that course for this paper.
My name's Laura Dison. I'm also a senior lecturer at the School of Education, but I'm in the curriculum division. I worked with Maria and Grant on the literacies course, but I also reflect on my work on an assessment course, a third-year course and a fourth-year course in the curriculum division, where we use portfolio tasks. Thanks.
So we were teaching 3 different courses at 2 different universities. And in the process, I think all of us were looking for ways of dealing with the realities of massification that all of us are facing, whilst being cognizant of the need to decolonize these courses as well, and our curricula, and to give students better epistemological access to the knowledge that our courses aim to equip them with. And after various discussions amongst ourselves about our respective courses and what we were doing towards this goal, we firstly realized that all of us were using some form of portfolio assessment that seemed to actually be doing what we needed our courses to do across all 3 courses that we looked at. And we decided to reflect theoretically on what worked and what didn't work, and why it worked or didn't.
Okay, so I'm taking that one. What we loved most, I would say, the very top of our list would be working together, collaborating with other people in our school and in our division, and just kind of seeing how innovative everyone is being in their courses. We're all kind of working towards the same goals of increasing access, of increasing literacy levels, of trying to be really dedicated and committed teachers, which is really our top love, even above the research. We love the teaching, and that is what we really carried into this paper. And I think it's apparent, hopefully, when people read the paper, how much we really love teaching these courses and being innovative and thinking outside of the box. And all of these courses were doing something slightly different from what we were used to, and that's why we thought it would be great for us to write about. And the second thing that we really loved was also addressing a lot of the contemporary questions that all of us have right now. How do we really think about higher education in the wake of the decolonial debate, or as this is ongoing? How do we think about higher education with these large student numbers? And we really wanted to rise to that challenge and give some kind of answer, even though it's not a complete final answer. We wanted to start thinking about what are we doing right now, and what could we be doing to really address all of these issues. So it was the collaboration and the innovation that really was what we loved about writing this paper.
So the most important thing, I think, that we learned, it's unusual to think of oneself as a designer. We are teachers and we're researchers. But what came out of this paper is how design is at the center of assessment. And we always complain that our students are mark obsessed. You know, they won't do anything unless it's for marks. And so learning was how that, and massification, and the problem of diverse student bodies, how each of these can then become a source of creativity in design. How to design an assessment that the students want to do because it's an assessment, but then it becomes assessment for learning. And so it improves their ability to reflect on their own work. It improves their knowledge of their own selves, their own linguistic and cultural and epistemological repertoires, and their knowledge of their classmates. And then our knowledge of them as we work as lecturers, teaching these very diverse classrooms. So that design that puts assessment at the center and learning, assessment for learning at the center. How creative and satisfying that can be, even under challenging circumstances. So that is, I think, the conversation that all of us will be continuing in our own research. And we would hope then that the readers of this article will also carry forward in their own way.
Yeah, we have several open questions, particularly with the shift to online teaching and learning and assessment. We feel that we've learned many lessons from implementing portfolios in our subjects with a focus on process rather than product. We've shifted the focus from assessing knowledge to describing, to enabling students to describe their learning, inquiry, and reflection. There's consensus in the literature on portfolio tasks, which we write about in the paper, that students are more likely to demonstrate their achievement of skills and capabilities than just of the knowledge, the content knowledge that they've learned. And this raises a question about the tension, the ongoing tension between using assessment to stimulate student learning or using it for accountability purposes. I think we've got this dual function of assessment always, but was it exacerbated during online assessment, or were we able to tip the balance in favor of more engaged and assessment for learning principles and practices? We believe that the portfolio in all of our three disciplines has allowed for incremental learning, where students were required to incorporate concepts and skills from previous lessons and tasks. But we do recognize that there were issues, and these remain ongoing questions for us, and issues that we want to continue researching. Issues of reliability. It is quite difficult to assess wide-ranging evidence of achievement. Issues of students writing extensively and uncritically and having a lot of time, and to guide students on how to write more systematically. And then the issue of academic integrity, it always crops up. Do portfolio tasks have the potential to design plagiarism out? In our tasks, we all emphasize reflection and judgment of own practice. We want to authenticate written work in our tasks, to personalize portfolio tasks. And we believe that we can leverage lessons from these portfolio task implementations to perhaps design out plagiarism by promoting a sense of student voice and ownership. We realize that this is probably a critical moment where we need to combine our understanding of how students are progressing, assessment for learning, with creating these learning opportunities to promote the right kind of learning in the ways that we've shown in the paper. Thank you.